Wow, what a great turnout, Tony. And good evening, everyone. I apologize for being a little late. I have a little good news to share for those of you who are Fairfield Prep fans. My son and his prep team won the state championship in hockey, overtime. I lost a few votes in Darien today because of the victory, but that's all right. We'll make them up. Before I introduce Tony, first, if there are any doubts that I truly am not running for the state senate again, I think this will put all of those to rest. I started my 16th session this February, and I knew when I was lucky enough to be reelected in 2012 that my time in the state senate had come to an end. And I say that because while I have absolutely loved and cherished the honor of representing amazing people in wonderful towns for the last 16 years, I think you have to know when it's time for your own self to move on to other challenges, but also for the people you represent to have a new leader and a new voice and a new perspective. These are not our seats. They belong to all of you. And we're elected every 2 years. And I have tried for 16 years never to use the words my district, because it's not, it's your district. And it belongs to the people of Fairfield and Easton and Newtown and Westport and Weston. Over 16 years, I've learned a lot about, I think, what it takes to be a good representative. Hard work, being part of your community, not being above your community, being part of the people, whether it was working as a Little League coach or Pop Warner football or shopping too much at Stop and Shop and other grocery stores and seeing neighbors, just understanding what people you represent are going through every day. In the legislature, it also takes a lot of hard work, understanding the bills and the process. It takes a willingness to lead. It takes a willingness to want to work with the other party when there are opportunities to work with the other party. It takes a willingness to listen to others. It takes a willingness to really stand up and make tough votes, not to leave the chamber and miss a vote because you're afraid of what your constituents are going to say. And let me tell you, there are a lot of people we're going to hear from who've done that. Those are the qualities I thought I've brought to you. Those are the qualities I see in Tony Hwang. I see someone who truly understands where he came from, how lucky he is to be here because of the greatness of America and the freedoms that we all share. And Tony's too humble to tell you that he's here not just because of the greatness of America, but because the greatness of America afforded him the opportunity, if he worked hard, to get here. And he did work very hard. I see someone who knows the issues. I see someone who reaches out to people from other parts of the state and in other parties to work with them when it's important to work with them. I remember when I first ran, I had a great conversation with Ted Lovegrove, who was my predecessor. And Ted had decided not to run and had encouraged me to consider running. Carl Dickman, a wonderful friend and state representative from Fairfield, senior to me, encouraged me to run. Paul Timniak, another tremendous legislator and Fairfield Republican, and sadly Paul and Carl aren't with us. But they both encouraged me to run from the very beginning. I'm so excited that Tony's going to take this journey. I hope I'm your governor. But I know you're going to be my state senator. And that is going to make me very proud. My friends, the next state senator from the 28th district, Tony Hwang.
Good luck.
Well, hard to follow that, and thank you, John. Thank you, Brenda. I'm thrilled to be here because I want to first be able to acknowledge all of the wonderful people that are out here right now. You represent truly the essence of why we serve. And I am thrilled beyond my wildest imaginations to share with this audience and with the general public that I am going to be a candidate for the state senate, serving the 28th district. Following in the footsteps of Ted Lovegrove, Senator McKinney, who will be our next state governor. I've had the pleasure of serving as your state representative for the last 6 years. It has been a privilege and an honor, and it is one that I have sincerely loved and enjoyed. It is a role that I've loved. And as I say that, I also recognize that it is an incredible honor and privilege that we have to serve as we stand up here. And I also recognize the fact that it is not a duty taken lightly. And I approach this job with the sense that it's been based on a simple mission. And that mission is the fact that we have a commitment to our community followed by the fundamental of common sense governing. What is simplified by saying that is when I talk about community, I'm talking about the young children that are here. I'm talking about the seniors in our population, the small business owners, the community leaders, the people that make up the fabric of our community. You are truly what we as public servants should be committed to, that we are here to represent and serve you in Hartford. And when I talk about a common sense approach to government, I'm approaching it from the context that we as government should truly reflect the wants and the habits and the behaviors of the community and the residents that we represent. We should understand that difficult choices require us to make hard, difficult decisions, that we have to be accountable for our decisions, and that we simply don't pass the buck down the road by raising taxes and playing with financial accounting. That is a common sense approach to governing. And when we talk about common sense approach to governing, it also means that we have to do the job of governing, of leading, to help grow jobs and build our businesses. And we have to do that by reducing taxes, reducing our spending, and making the proper investments in our communities, in our infrastructure such as transportation and our roads, and most important of all, to the people that we represent. Because when we do that, we will again be one of the greatest states in the country, not the 48th, not the 49th, where people who grew up in this beloved state are forced to leave it, and that our children that are growing up can no longer come back to the state in order to build and grow their family as we had done with ours. That is common sense governing. That is truly how we represent the people. Not the bickering, not the partisanship, but common sense governing to be great again. That was one of the reasons my parents chose to immigrate to the United States. I'm a proud American, but I'm also deeply appreciative of the great opportunities that this country has afforded me, my family, and ultimately my children. We could not be where we are anywhere else in this world. And as I talk about my immigrant roots, I'm looking at Dr. Henry Lee, who has been very... Now, he is an individual that has embodied the American dream. And he is one that I look to as a role model, as well as there's so many other of you that I look to role models. So when we talk about governing, we need to, again, and I'm going to be simple in my approach, that we need to govern with an approach that we have to commit to our community and follow that up with a common sense approach to governing. Now, I'm going to repeat again, common sense. It seems to be such a commonly used and woefully unapplied word. I apply common sense not only to governing, but I also apply common sense to an approach of being courteous, respectful, and being a neighbor. To be sensitive that we have a role, not even as a public official, but as a neighbor, as a friend, that we have a common sense approach to be respectful, to be courteous to everyone, whether they carry a Democratic, Libertarian, Republican, Second Amendments label. Here's the reality. They are humans. They are our neighbors. And we should always remember to keep that in mind when we interact with them, to treat people with respect and courtesy, and respect differences in our country, respect differences in our community. I say all that, and I recognize that we still have a job to do, and it's a job that I love. I have loved serving our community. I have loved going out and engaging and interacting and making the organizations such as the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the PTA councils, to let all of those organizations know that as a representative of that community, as a representative of that district, that they are important. And I will share with this audience, and I will share with anyone that would question that we're out there too much. Shouldn't we all do that? Shouldn't we all go out and take a moment and tell people that we care about the things they do? The things that they do to enrich a young child's life, to support someone that's a little down on their luck with a job or with economics or with a loss. That is what we should do when we lead. And we should never apologize for being out there and showing that we care. And I say that if every one of my politicians and friends and colleagues do that, we would live in a far, far better world. So I am happy to serve. I'm even more excited to set an example to show that politicians and public servants are on your side, that we care and we genuinely want to hear and interact with you. And also that to say that I'm proud to stand on the record that I've established. I would welcome everybody and anyone to look at the record that we've established and accomplishments and not simply take the word. I'm proud to stand up here with Representative Kupchak, future Governor McKinney, Senator Boucher, and I'm proud to know that we can stand on the record of our vote and of our accomplishments. And I would encourage that when people vote, when people evaluate who they want to represent them, they should check and find out what their voting records are. And I'm proud to stand on mine alongside with these great colleagues. So I want to thank you all for being here. You know, public service comes at a price, and that price is shown by the commitment and the support that you have with people that love you and support you and make that sacrifice along with you. I will share with you that I could not be able to do the things that I do and be out on the events that I'm out at without the support of an incredible spouse who is a saint. A son and daughter that I am so proud and will never, ever, ever want to stop talking and bragging about. One of the biggest thrills I have is to be able to go out anywhere and not be known as State Representative Hwang, but more importantly, rather be known as Christina and Peter's dad. That is the ultimate award that anyone can have. So again, I want to thank you all for being a part of an extended family, and let's go on this fantastic ride together. And I appreciate all of your friendships and all of your support, and I appreciate all that you do in making our town and our communities a little bit more special. So for me, allow me to close this by giving all of you a tremendous applause for being who you all are. Thank you. Thank you very much. And enjoy the rest of the day. Take care.